Welcome to Good Vibes TV. I'm your host, Leslie Klein, here to guide you in the world of energy, frequency, and vibration. In today's episode, my guest is Rocky Krogfoss. Rocky is the president of New Beginnings Therapy. He practices quantum emotional healing, which is an effective technique in the relief of pain, both from physical and emotional trauma. He's the author of several books, including his latest, The Law of Attraction, The Truth of How You Create Your Life. So joining us from Vancouver, Canada, please welcome Rocky Krogfoss. Hello, Rocky. How are you?
Hello. So good to be here. Thank you.
You're very welcome. We are going to go a little deeper in this episode.
Yes.
Kind of mind-blowing stuff. So give us your story about how you first found out that you had healing gifts.
Okay. Well, I'll start with my journey, which started about 35 years ago. And I won't go into the details, but I'll just say to you, I had a complete emotional breakdown. And I was frozen, literally, from my head down to my stomach. And I couldn't feel anything. And I felt awful, just awful. There's lots of people out there who know what I'm talking about. Just that feeling of just darkness and hopelessness and that kind of thing. And I went through that for at least a couple of years until one day I just said, I've had enough. I'm going to go and see a doctor. And I was being the tough guy, the man. I'm a tough guy and I don't need help. I can just suck it up and get through this. And when I realized that wasn't going to happen, that was just continuing to hang on. I went and saw a doctor. He gave me some pills. I took a couple of those pills. I threw them away. And I decided, well, that's enough of the medical system now. Well, I know they're absolutely useless in this kind of work. It's time for me to do something else, but I don't know what. And then I sat on my bed one day and I literally looked across my room. And in the corner of my room, I saw a black vortex spinning around. And I guess I can't tell you how it happened or what happened, but it was in my third eye. And when I got up to go to the vortex, I felt the winds of hell going through my body. Later on, I was to learn it was the winds of my personal hell, not hell. But nonetheless, as a warrior soul who's been a warrior all his life, I looked at that black vortex and I gave it the finger. And I said, I don't think so. So I went back down on my bed and I said these words, which would make my father roll over in his grave. And I said, oh my God, I need help. And a couple of weeks later, a lady showed up in my life, who was a lady who I've known in life after life. And I didn't find this out until many years after we'd started working together. And we began doing healing work with her spirit guides called Mazandia. And Mazandia said they had contracted with me to help me release the warrior and to become the man that I really am. And we began dozens and dozens of sessions until one day in 2006, during a session where I was very angry at my father, very, very, very angry, very, very angry. And I was crying and I just was out of breath. And there was a pause as Mazandia just paused. And then a voice came through about 2 minutes later that said, I have been communicating to you through everyone you meet. And I said, hello? And he said, hello. And I said, who is this? And he said, my name is Sentient. And that's the name of my team. And I said, well, it's lovely to meet you. And he said, but you can also call me Seth. And I said, excuse me? Did you say Seth? Are we talking about the same Seth that channeled through Jane Roberts and did a series of books called Seth Speaks? And he said, yes. And I said, I literally said to him at that point, I said, what are you doing here with me? And he said, you make me laugh, Rocky, because you really don't know who you are yet. But I am here to wake you up and help you understand who you are. The first thing I'm going to tell you is that you are a healer. And I went like this. And I went like this. And I said, "Are you talking to me?" And he says, "I'm talking to you." And he said, "I'm a healer. What do I heal? What do I do?" And he says, "Don't worry." He says, "We've got lots of time. You'll figure it out." And then he said to me, "It's imperative that you do not go and do training with an energy healer. It'll take you away from your gift." And he left it at that. Now, what happened after that was I just stepped out into the world, and I had a bunch of friends, and one of the ladies who was a friend of mine was in a session with a acupuncturist for a migraine that she'd had for 5 straight days. It was awful. She looked like she'd gone 12 rounds with Muhammad Ali. And I just said to her, I said, "Hey, Nikki, I do energy healing, She says, "You do? I didn't know you did that." And I said, "Neither do I. Do you mind if I give it a try?" And she said, "Well, I've tried everything now. I've got nothing to lose." And so all I did was I've got no training. I have no idea what I'm doing. I put my hands on her shoulders, and I just sent her love. And 25 to 30 minutes later, while she was just sitting there very quiet, all of a sudden she goes, oh. She says, "My pain is gone." I said, "Really?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Isn't that amazing?" She said, "That is a miracle. I mean, I've got a cold sweat and I'm dizzy, but my pain is completely gone. How did you do that?" And I said, "I don't have a clue, but I'm going to find out." And the next 3 weeks, there was one woman after another, all of them with migraine headaches, all of them, I put my hands on their shoulders, all of them, 25 to 30 minutes later, headaches gone, cold sweat, dizzy. And the last woman said, "That's incredible. I don't know how you did that." And I said, "I don't either, but I'm going to find out." And thus began my journey. Seth said to me, "It's important that you study energy." And I said, "I'm an electrician. I think I know a few things about energy." He said, "Not that kind of energy." And I said, "What kind of energy?" And he said, "You'll be guided where to go." And true enough, a few weeks later, I was guided on a website to go to quantum physics and the effect of electromagnetic energy on the cellular body. And it began my fascination with quantum physics and began my journey of studying the absolute greats in history: Albert Einstein, Gregg Braden, Nassim Haramein, Amit Goswami. There's so many. And that led me into other sciences that were tied into the healing mindset through this thing called conscious energy. And so biophysics and neuroplasticity and conscious energy research and biofields, it's all tied in with one thing in common. They're all part of conscious energy. How does that work? Why is it important? Why should I care about conscious energy? Because everybody is not physical. Einstein knew that 120 years ago. He knew there was no such thing as physicality. He even said so. And so, everyone listening today, you are not physical. At the root of your physicalness, looks and feelings, is an energy field of conscious energy. There's also something called the string theory. And in string theory, we know that each cell, each atom in your body is actually made up of a string of light. They've actually got pictures of it now. And each string of light is capable of receiving a message of unworthiness or worthiness to receive love. And so the pain that you experience in your body, the disease that you get in your body, everything like that, all comes from its training that you give it unwittingly. And that's the root or the cause of pain and trauma in your body. So it's my job to find out what kind of programming you've downloaded, not through anything you've done intentionally, most often it's karmic. You go into a family that, has a lot of issues, and you download a lot of unworthiness. And that comes out later on in life as pain and trauma. What can we do to release it? Well, we release the source of the programming. And so Seth, all the way along, taught me this, along with my other spirit guides, Decia and Vo. Vo is an interesting character because he comes from a planet where they exist in multiples. There's not just one of Vo, there's multiples of Vo. And he's told me stories about what it's like when he left his planet to come to work with Seth. How he sat under a Vo tree. There was a sacred tree on their planet. For 48 days, he was on a mountain, and he sat by this tree the whole time until he became one with the tree, and the tree became one with him. Very fascinating, great stories, great learnings. And Vo taught me that. And then Decia, who I've had past lives with, some were violent, and she died in one. And she is the power divine feminine. She is here to teach me how I can receive my divine feminine and be equally balanced as a man in a woman's world with the divine feminine in balance. So all my spirit guides are teaching me all these things, and I have connections with many other beings, Saint Germain, Lord Metatron, Ashtar Sharan, and each and every one of these beings left me with some really amazing wisdom. The Arcturians left me with a definition of conscious energy that I've had for over 10 years. And I never understood it for the first 7 years until 3 years ago. I finally understood it. And their
Can you hear that?
I'll try and remember it now. Conscious energy is a neutrally participating energy field that corresponds with intent to create electromagnetic particles that become your physical reality. So they're well aware that the conscious energy is at the source of all reality in our life. Every single thing. This mouse, it's energy. My glasses are energy. My shirt is energy. My body is energy. Once you understand that, once you receive that, and once you go like, okay, I let go of physicality, all of a sudden you catapult into a new realm of possibilities of how you can take care of your body. There's no more running to the doctor. There's no more running to the chiropractor. There's just taking good care of yourself. Yes.
Let's go back to Seth. One of the quotes that Seth said, I guess, back in 1963, which is when I was born, is that you create your own reality.
Yes.
And I guess that's the bottom line of how we create our reality. Now, you were talking about the string of lights.
Yes. Ultimately, what you believe is what you create. Therefore, if you've created a situation where you're having trouble with family members or siblings or mother or father, you're ultimately responsible for creating that reality because there's something you need to learn from that situation. So what Seth was talking about, that everything that happens in your life, at the root of it, through the law of attraction, you have attracted certain experiences that reflect what you believe about that particular experience, whether it's my father's controlling and he's an idiot, or my mother just doesn't listen to me, whatever it is, you create that reality, and it's part of your karmic life lessons. So you are responsible for virtually everything that happens in your life. In fact, I tell people, well, if this and this and this happened, who do you think's responsible for creating that? And they'll go, I don't know, that person did this and that person did that. And I'll say, no, you're responsible. Shall we take a look at why you're responsible?
Right.
And this responsibility comes with one caveat. It's never your fault. It's just an opportunity to grow. That's it.
We're going to take a short break right now, but when we come back, we're going to find out how you raise your vibration. Welcome back to Good Vibes TV. I'm Leslie Klein, here with Rocky Krogfoss. Up.
Hello, I'm back.
And you're back. And we've been talking, and Rocky is a quantum emotional healer, and we've been talking about the fifth dimension and releasing 3D programming so that the transition into the fifth dimension will be an easy one. So I know you do healing on people,
Yes.
but for yourself, do you find that raising your vibration is important?
Critical. If I'm not doing it, then I have no right to lead people to how to do it. So I have to do it all the time. My spirit guides keep me sharp, keep me quick, keep me happening. And they say, Rocky, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I say, okay, so I go ahead and do it. Most of it. Sometimes I'm frustrated and sometimes I'm lazy. And I'm no different than anyone else.
You're human.
Yeah, forgive me, I'm human. Yeah. And so the principles behind raising your vibrations are very, very, very simple. And how you raise your vibrations is you don't sit in a circle and go ching, 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 Dalai Lama, Dalai Lama, Dalai Lama, Dalai Lama. No, you don't do that. You can do that if you want, but does it raise your vibrations? No. Why doesn't it raise your vibrations? Because I like to joke and say, here it is. I've got something very special in my hand. This is the CD-ROM I just pulled out of your subconscious mind. And in it has a whole bunch of your 3D programming in it. And if you sit in a circle and you go ching to ching 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 to ching ching Dalai Lama, it raises your vibrations temporarily. But guess what always runs the show? The subconscious mind runs the show. Dr. Bruce Lipton, check it out. He's the world's leading authority on subconscious mind and programming. 97% of your program running your life right now comes from the subconscious mind. And so we want to work on the subconscious mind. I could care less about your brain and what you're thinking. It's so unimportant. It's only 3% of your reality. It just doesn't make a dent. But when you work on the subconscious mind, you are working with the unseen. And it's very important to understand that when you're working with the subconscious mind, it's not about practicality or logic. It's about what are you feeling? Can you feel the feelings? In order to heal it, you must feel it. So the feelings bring up these programs to the surface, and you're able to see them clearly and say, oh yes, I remember that when I was a young girl. And I remember this when I was a young girl. I remember that when I was a young girl. And the patriarchal mindset, oh yes, I've learned this about being in a male mindset energy field. It's very oppressive towards women, because women are goddesses and they think different, they are different, and they don't need to be controlled by a male energy. In fact, many women have chosen to walk away from that male energy and start using their heart to live their lives, which is the best way for a woman to move forward. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, we've been in that patriarchal society, and we're switching more to the feminine and matriarchal.
We're switching.
The trend.
Yes, we're switching to the divine feminine, which is gentle, peace, and love, and allowing that to be your power base. Now, when a woman is gentle and peaceful, the first thing that is said is, well, that's just you being a really weak person. And then you can say, well, I would beg to differ. The science shows that when I'm gentle and kind and loving to myself, I'm 1,000,000 times more powerful than any warrior. So you need to balance that out. 1,000,000 times more powerful. Your energy is 1,000,000 times more effective at creating peace, at feeding love to the earth, at feeding love to your nation, United States. The United States needs a whole bunch of love right now. You're in a critical situation.
Yes.
And so the United States better learn how to love each other real fast, because it's going to be a long, dragged out, horrible scene if you don't. So many people have already said, I choose the light over, the political situation. Mm-hmm. And change is coming, and it's going to happen. So you need to be ready for it. You need to be ready for it. Mm-hmm. And choosing to love yourself and free yourself from any of the programs that tie you down to a certain feeling or belief that is uncomfortable. Women know when they're doing something or thinking something and it's uncomfortable. They know why. They know it's well, I have to do this because I'm a woman in this patriarchal society. And when a woman says, no, I'm not going to do that anymore, then everybody around them starts going loopy. In the meantime, you're reaching out for freedom. You're reaching out to be independent of a society that wants you to be small, think small, live in a small box. And that's not what women are here to do anymore. They never have been. They're here to reach out and be all that they are. The divine feminine is the energy of the new planet, the fifth dimension. And we need each and every woman to reach out and say, I am that I am. That I am a woman, I'm proud of myself. I am a woman, I have much to offer. I am a woman, I do not owe anyone anything. I do not have to give my love away to everyone in order to earn love. I simply receive love now. Isn't that a new concept for women? So
self-nurturing.
Yes, very much so. Self-nurturing.
Self-love.
Doing the healing with gentleness. Forgiveness for self. Recognizing that each step they take takes them to a higher and higher frequency of love. And it allows you to just sit on the sidelines, so to speak, with pom-poms, and say 5D, 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 yo, 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 yo.
Bring it in.
Yeah, bring it in. I'm ready. So, and then we will begin this whole new world. And it will be a glorious world, a world where the colors will be brighter. The animals, even the tigers and the lions and the snakes and everything will be friendly to humans. It'll be a world of one. What's really interesting about what Ishmael Perez said about humans is that we are a hybrid of 17 other alien being DNAs. And
Mhm.
we are a super race, even though people would call that ridiculous. But no, we are a super race of super accelerated human beings. And once we get into 5D, we will learn how to access many more
Mhm.
aspects of our 12 strands of DNA. Right now, we only use 3. And when we use 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, and when we get up to 10, 11, and 12, we will be unbelievable,
Right.
superpowered human beings, literally like Superman, so to speak.
Yeah.
So that's history for the future. It's not important right now. What's important right now is that you give yourself permission to move on to 5D with ease and grace. And my job is to help facilitate that and help you let go of any pain, let go of any trauma, so that you don't have to carry the worst of the worst into 5D.
Mm.
So that's why I'm here.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
Rocky, can you share a technique with us?
Yes, I
Sure.
suggest this to all my clients, especially when they become aware enough that they are feeling uncomfortable and they're ready to instantaneously do something about it. Instead of suffering and going on and on and on, going, seeing a doctor and getting pills and blah, 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 they can release it themselves. I call the technique stop, breathe, ground, release. What that means is when you become aware of the fact that something is triggering you, maybe something from your childhood, maybe some abandonment, maybe some fears, whatever it is, when you become aware, or there's a pain that comes up and it comes up over in a sore back or fibromyalgia or whatever, migraine headaches, you can stop. When I say stop, it means you just stop right now. Everything. Just stop everything. You give your brain permission to stop thinking. And then you just breathe. You close your eyes and you breathe through your nose and out through your mouth. Then you set an intention to connect to this feeling of discomfort and you ground it into the earth. You don't have to do anything. You're standing on your feet. You just set an intention to ground your energy into the earth. And then you give this energy permission to release, using your hands to gently push it down through your body and into the earth. You can release pain like that, any kind of pain, very quickly. You can lessen a migraine headache or even let it go very quickly. Any trauma, you can let it go very, very quickly. You can return to balance very quickly. This is a very, very simple technique that I came up with, and it
Mhm.
is highly, highly effective. It's all
I love
about
it.
intention and
Mhm.
what you believe. So an intention hits your belief systems, and if you believe you can do this, what you believe is what you create. It always is.
Right.
It's not what you think, it's what you believe. If you believe you can do something, it is done.
Mhm.
Does that
Absolutely.
does that sound good?
That sounds
I would
perfect.
love everybody out there to give that a try. I would love that.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Yes.
Well, we're going to take another break, but when we come back, we're going to learn how the viewers can contact Rocky for a healing session or find out some about your workshops that you're doing. So, and plus, we also have a special offer for Good Vibes viewers for the first 3 that reach Rocky. So, we will be right back. Welcome back to Good Vibes TV. I'm your host, Leslie Klein, and we've been talking to Rocky Krogfoss, who is the president of New Beginnings Therapy, about the science of conscious energy. So welcome back, Rocky. You gave us in the last segment some a really good technique to use to release pain or trauma, or I guess any kind of negative emotions or beliefs that come up. And of course, doing it by ourselves, by just that little training, is possible to do. But if someone wants to reach out to you and learn more about your class, you have classes too, don't you have a workshop?
I have online classes and I have live classes as well, yes. Yes.
Okay. So here I'm putting up your website. Is that the best place for people to reach you or to find out more at least?
They can check out what I do on my website. People want to reach me. The best way is through my email.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, we were talking about doing 3 healings for subscribers listening in on this show. People that are really struggling with, fibromyalgia, chronic pain, migraines, depression, PTSD, anxiety, people that need real help and really would appreciate finally being able to do something positive about the suffering that they're going through, because this is a time where the suffering stops. And I was put on this planet specifically with a specific gift to stop the suffering. And we're reaching out to you now. And so I would like to say that people who would really like to do a healing session with me, an introductory healing session, and then I'll follow it up with a healing session as well. You're more than welcome. First 3 people that reach out to me on my email will receive this gift.
That's awesome. Anybody can actually go to your website and then sign up for a free 30-minute session.
Yes.
As an intro. But you're offering our viewers, the first 3 that email you, get that complimentary session plus a full hour session.
That's correct.
So that's wonderful. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, my website does have a page on it where you can fill it out and you can get a free introductory healing session. And after the healing session, if you find it's effective at helping you feel better and it feels like it's the right thing for you to do in order to move forward in your life, then I will ask you if you want to do more healing sessions. Of course, there's a charge for that. And so I do have to make a living. So, but on my website, there is a free information. You can fill it out. Very simple, and I will get back to you within 24 hours, and we'll arrange a free introductory healing session with you as a gift.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that. Do you have any closing ideas for this episode today?
Yes, I would like to say to each and every person listening, and I really want you to hear me, you don't have to suffer anymore. I mean that. Let go of the medical mindset. Realize that you're infinitely more powerful than you are. That's not just words, that's a fact. That's a scientific quantum physics fact. Epigenetics fact. Biophysics fact. When you choose to heal and you choose to take good care of yourself and love yourself a lot more than you have been, and you take ownership of your traumas or pains, I can help you move forward quickly. And so I welcome you to contact me and to say, Rocky, I'm really tired of feeling this pain or that pain, or feeling down or feeling stuck or feeling sad. Can you help me? And the answer is yes. And I'll say to you, are you ready to do the work? And as Leslie and I talked about earlier, the work is not really work. It's just being authentic and showing up and saying yes to myself. And away we'll go. So please reach out to me. I can help.
Thank you, Rocky. Thank you so much for sharing your gifts today and your knowledge. It's been so enlightening.
Thank you so much, Leslie. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting you. You're such a delight.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Good Vibes TV viewers, for watching. Please go to our website, www.good-vibes.tv, to find out how you can reach out to us on social media. We're on all the different social media platforms, but reach out to us on your favorite platform. And remember to raise your vibe so you can thrive. Peace out, everyone.